Hello people, welcome back to the best Chelsea always back-to-back video on a bonus weekend. So let's get away straight and fast immediately. It's a big fair match we have in the upcoming one. That's Leicester City that we are playing in tomorrow midnight at 1:30 I guess in the King Power Stadium. It's an away match. A much needed win for Frank Lampard and his team to get back his team into the top 4 contention. But before getting back in the video, I would like to say you something that, as I mentioned in my previous video, I said you about following my Instagram page to be updated with all the transfer related news, manager related, and also any miscellaneous news regarding Chelsea, transfer rumors or anything like that. And of course, if the video does not come out, I have said you to follow my Instagram page where definitely I will be updating my predicted lineup and the predicted score so you can get to know from there. So without any further ado, so let's get back into the Leicester match preview video. It's a big match considering the fact that Brendan Rodgers' team are performing really well. Last season also we were somehow able to creep up at the top ahead of them and knock them out of the top 4, but this time it requires a much more of commitment to do that again. It's not easy like last time. This time we have the players, but we don't have the tactical awareness in the squad. That's more worrying for me and also for the whole Chelsea team as well, because you got the quality of the players you wanted, but you have no style of play, no tactical style to actually field your squad to be competitive. So let's get directly into my predicted squad. So starting off with the goalkeeper, definitely it's going to be Edouard Mendy, pretty much decent against Fulham, but I think his service needs some working. His service has been very poor, but apart from that, I don't have any other issues. A good chap between sticks. So for me, Edouard Mendy definitely keeps his place in the starting 11. And then we move to our backline. We get back to our original backline formation that's consisting of Ben Chilwell, Reece James, Thiago Silva, and Kurt Zouma. Our original backline will be ahead of this Leicester game. And also, even Leicester has the same kind of formation at the back. They have Soyuncu, they have Castagne, they have, Jason. So it's kind of the same kind of formation that Chelsea are playing. Even they have some better wing backs, we also have some better wing backs. So it's all about how we play. It all depends on the style of what Chelsea apply for this Leicester game. So my backline remains the same, and for the defense it will be a big test, of course, when you have the likes of Jamie Vardy and James Maddison running behind you. It's difficult to catch them once they are loose. So for defense it will be a big test. And also when it comes to set piece situations, also it'll be a big test for Chelsea, because even the opposite team have some good defenders with physicality. So but definitely it'll be a big test for Chelsea. And then we move to our midfield. I moved to CDM position, and I pretty much don't want to see Jorginho again. I mean, he has been very sloppy, and starting him against Leicester City will be a complete big mistake according to me. So Jorginho, no, never. For me, definitely it's going to be Billy Gilmore. I think the more natural replacement. He needs to be given time. I know he's not so experienced like Jorginho, but I really want to see him play, because these are the matches which defines the player's ability, whether they can take up the pressure or not. So Billy Gilmore, he takes the position for CDM. And then I move to midfield, and this is where I want Lampard to field out his best players. That is definitely, the first one is definitely going to be in my mind is Mason Mount. I mean, he was terrific last against Fulham, so definitely he keeps his place in starting 11. There's nothing much more to say about him. He was just that brilliant that he was, the star of the whole team. And then we move to the other side of the midfield. Definitely on the right hand side, I gotta see Kai Havertz, man. I think it's too much now that Lampard is dropping his informed players. I really want to see Kai Havertz start this match. I also kept this thing in mind that Lampard will definitely not switch his formation. He is going to be sticking to his old 4-3-3. So in that case, I want to see Havertz again. If he was playing with the 4-1-3-2, that's the formation I really love to see. 4-1-3-2, where you have Havertz in the middle of the midfield, you have Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech on the flanks, Timo Werner and Tammy Abraham in the front. And of course, the formation, if you go with this formation, the downside is that you're going to be dropping some good players along the line, which are Mason Mount, Mateo Kovacic. If Ross Barkley returns, then Ross Barkley, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So there are many players. If you're going to be going with this kind of formation, you have to drop them. But that's the best I could say. Yes, definitely the big downside is Mount. Yes, we need a place for Mount, and that's not happening. So I think it would be a good makeshift for Havertz Mount. So once he can play, and as a sub, Havertz can come on, or Havertz can play in the starting and Mount coming on as a sub. Both are brilliant players. I mean, Havertz has been really in his form of his life now, and deliberately against Leicester City, I need to see him to start the game. So we move to our forwards, which is pretty much convincing. I mean, there's nothing much change in that. Yes, I would love to make one change. That's going to be, instead of Hakim Ziyech, start Callum Hudson-Odoi on the right hand side. I mean, it's too much from Lampard now starting Hakim Ziyech. I don't want to see now that passing, ability, nothing like that. I just want to see a result coming out of this match, that is 3 points. And for me, Callum Hudson-Odoi is on the top of the hill, and definitely he takes the position on the right hand side ahead of Hakim Ziyech. Coming to the left hand side, it's my usual Christian Pulisic. He's not performing up to the level at this point. Yes, even in Fulham match, he was not up to his point. But I think this is a top flight game, so most probably he'll be finding his legs in this game. So let's see that he plays better. And then we move to the forwards, that is Timo Werner. And now there's much of a criticism when it comes to Timo Werner, because the kind of form he's in, the kind of chances he's missing in, Chelsea players are started losing faith in him. But I really do believe that it's a part of a player's career. These things often happen, and these things tend to change. I even mentioned Fernando Torres. He was also not in the limelight when he was a Blues player. He definitely was not the most appreciated player back in the day. He was also very much criticized, but the reason why we still don't criticize him too much is because that man won us the Champions League. And I think his vital goal against Barcelona was something very important and which we will cherish for years to come. So we don't pretty much, take Fernando Torres as, a victim. But when you talk about Timo Werner, missing big chances in such a game is very worrying. And against Fulham, we definitely saw, I mentioned in my last video, that when you feel that Tammy Abraham and Timo Werner, there was a very much positive side of Werner coming in. Yes, his first touch has been very poor. He kind of, the moment he touches the ball, it just gets away from him, and there's no way he's going to recover it. So I think he needs to work on his first touch, or whatever it is. He needs to work on that, because we need to see the best of Timo Werner. And this match definitely will be a big test. It's gonna be pacey. Vardy at the other side and Timo Werner on the other hand. So it's going to be a Vardy Timo Werner showdown ultimately, because both of them are robust, pacey strikers. They don't, once they get a chance to run behind the defense, you cannot catch him. So definitely it will be a big moment for Timo Werner to come up against such a team who is very, definitely very tight at the back. So he needs to find a way to get back into scoring spree. So for me, Timo Werner takes the position. I'm not going to say Olivier Giroud or Tammy Abraham start this, because we don't want to see any more crosses or anything of that sort. I need to see the midfield be a bit more creative. So that's the reason I'm giving a nod. Even though Timo is not in his form of his life, I'm still giving him the chance to go and shine out. There's a lot of faith that Lampard is giving him on Timo Werner, and I think it's the time for Timo Werner to return. At the starting of the season, he was in blistering form, winning penalties, he was unbelievable. He was, defense had no idea how to catch him or how to track him back. But in the recent matches, when opposition knows our style of play, they kind of track down Timo Werner easily because they know where our players are going to head the ball in and where he's going to receive it. And since he doesn't have that much of a dribbling ability, players easily track him down. So for me, Timo Werner, I think this game is a big game and he needs to definitely make a solid mark on this game. So on that note, these are my lineup predictions for this game, and definitely, if we talk about the predicted score, it's a bit tough to talk about the score because looking at the current form, I don't see Chelsea walking out as winners from this point. But considering the fact that Chelsea have a fight back always, they are very good when it comes to fighting back when they are a goal or two down. So I would say a 1-all draw. Yes, I would not say a victory in the favor of Chelsea because Leicester are really in blistering form. They really have a chance to, drop us down. But if Chelsea need something out of this game, I think a victory would be very surprising by the fact that if the tactical plan has been very good, then I would be very happy if they get a victory out of it. But if by luck they stand out victorious, then it would be very surprising for me. But apart from that, if I talk about going along, I would say a 1-all draw favoring both the sides, and I don't see anything much more than that. So on that note, I'm going to be leaving you guys. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. Let me know down in the comment section what are your thoughts on the lineup and the predicted score, and how do you see Leicester as opponents for tomorrow night. How difficult it's going to be. Make sure you let me know down in the comments. So on that note, I'll be taking a leave. Stay safe and enjoy the match tonight. Okay, I'll take a leave and goodbye.